Welcome. It's Facts You Don't Know. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more, well, and first make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
Social media is often regarded as a powerful way of changing lives, and the Buy Pens trending hashtag on Twitter and Facebook over the last week is a case in point. The campaign is a collaborative effort to help a Syrian refugee father recently photographed selling a handful of pens in Beirut, Lebanon. Abdul Halim Attar, a Palestinian Syrian from the Yarmouk camp in Damascus, is one of over 1 million Syrian refugees who fled to Lebanon. He's a single father with 2 children, Reeb and Abdelilah. The story started with a tweet on August 25th when Gisser Simmerson, an Icelandic activist, posted a photograph of Abdul Halim selling pens, trying to raise money for his 2 children. The image triggered a tsunami of sympathy and compassion, with several thousand tweets and favorites. Simmerson soon launched a Twitter account dedicated to Abdul Halim called Buy Pens, and set out to find him in person in order to get him donations collected online. The campaign initially sought to raise $5,000 within 15 days. However, it succeeded in gathering $168,884, raised by 6,375 people in just 5 days, with donations coming from the US, UK, Saudi Arabia, and UAE, among others. Abdul Halim had reportedly said he intends to use the money simply to raise and educate his children. Abdul Halim Al-Attar, a refugee from Syria who was photographed selling pens in the streets of Beirut, is now running 3 businesses in the city after an online crowdfunding campaign in his name collected $191,000. The 33-year-old father of 2 opened a bakery 2 months ago and has since added a kebab shop and a small restaurant to his business venture. He employs 16 Syrian refugees. The photograph of Al-Attar carrying his sleeping daughter on his shoulder while trying to sell pens to passing motorists in the scorching heat went viral this past summer and touched people across the world. Though he was looking to work in a chocolate factory in Lebanon as well, none were hiring. So I have no other options to feed my kids but selling stuff in the streets. Simon Arson told BuzzFeed he knew his photos would draw a response. I talked to the guy I got the photo from, but he wasn't the original photographer, Simonson said. We haven't been able to find the original person who took the photos yet. Conflict News has pretty good reach, and I thought I might be able to locate him, he said. So he set up the Twitter handle, Buy Pens, urging @Conflicts 64,000 followers to locate him. After an initial false start, 2 Twitter followers managed to locate Kader based on the retweets of the original photo. One of those moved by his plight was an online journalist and web developer in Norway, Gisser Simonson, who created a Twitter account under the name Buy Pens and an Indiegogo campaign to raise $5,000 for Al-Attar and his family. When it closed 3 months later, the campaign had collected almost 40 times more, $188,685. Another $2,324 in donations has trickled in since then. Not only did my life change, but also the lives of my children and the lives of people in Syria whom I helped, he said. Al-Attar said he gave away about $25,000 to friends and relatives in Syria. Al-Attar also quickly built a better life for himself and his family in Beirut. His wife returned to Syria and they're currently separated. In addition to the food businesses, Al-Attar moved his children from 1 bedroom and they all shared 2-bedroom apartment in an unfinished building overlooking the highway in southern Beirut. The apartment is noisy and sparse, but 4-year-old Reem, who's draped over his father's shoulder in the viral photo, proudly displays her new toys, plastic kitchenware, a swing, and a stuffed bear that seems to be her favorite. Her brother, 9-year-old Abdullah, is back in school after 3 years of absence. For Al-Attar, it's a long way from Yarmouk, a Palestinian refugee camp on the southern edge of Damascus, where he was employed at a chocolate factory. The camp is now devastated by fighting. Although he's from Syria, Al-Attar is Palestinian and does not have Syrian citizenship. Getting the funds to Al-Attar has been a struggle. So far, he's only received 40% of roughly $168,000 after Indiegogo and PayPal took out about $20,000 in processing and banking. PayPal does not operate in Lebanon, so at the moment the cash is brought over to Lebanon bit by a friend of the campaign who can make withdrawals in Dubai. Seeing that he opened a restaurant and his kids look well taken care of, I'm really happy, Simonarson said in a phone interview from Oslo. But he also said he was disheartened after seeing how difficult the disbursement has been, and complications with refugees not being able to open a bank account in Lebanon. I think that will be my last fundraiser. He and his 16 employees are lucky to have jobs in Lebanon. There are about 1.2 million registered Syrian refugees in the country, most of them struggling to find work. Only a third of all Syrian refugees in Lebanon have some form of employment, according to a 2014 report by the International Labor Organization. Alatar is also getting used to his newfound status. Once an anonymous street vendor, he now feels like a member of his community. Lebanese and Syrians alike are nicer to him. They just greet me better now that they see me. They respect me more, he said with a smile. But they'll have a much better chance for a good education. I really hope I can do that. If not, Plan B will be opening a chocolate shop in Lebanon. Simonarson is reportedly working with UNICEF, the UN's children's agency, to figure out the best way to turn over the funds raised for Abdul and his family. One act of kindness by one man ignited a viral act of kindness from thousands of strangers pouring in their contributions. What a wonderful reminder that no act for good is too small. After all, you never know when it could change someone's entire life. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.